Back to the studio.
Oh, what a spectacular day it's been. Thanks, Kevin. A real feel of spring, a real taste of it. And look at these impressive temperatures. Yeah, it got to 8 degrees in downtown Toronto and 6 Peterborough, Pearson, 7 St. Catharines, Hamilton, 6, 7, 8 degrees. Wow, fantastic. Warmest time it's going to be this week, I'm afraid. Current weather, we're down to single digits. Cold fronts come through. It's a little breezy, but there is much more active, perhaps stormy weather ahead. Well, it's certainly coming our way, and depending on where you are in Ontario, you will see either stormy snowstorm weather or heavy rain. Most of it for southern Ontario looks like it'll come overnight, so that will avoid you having to maybe deal with it directly, but the effects, they'll be there. And afternoon into Thursday evening is when it really starts in southern Ontario. Now, it will be a brief bit of snow in the north and then change over to some rain. It could be all rain for the Windsor area. We're in between. And with temperatures hovering near or just above or below zero from Simcoe down to Toronto, down through the Niagara region, they'll be lingering in that zero range for a good few hours, possibly as long as 6 in the north end of the GTA. And that means a glaze forming and icy, slippery, untreated roads and sidewalks. Thursday evening overnight, it changes over to all rain, and it'll be steady. It'll keep coming, and the low is a Texas low. It's moisture laden with thunderstorms south of the border. We'll start to dry up on Friday. Thursday will be about 2 degrees, and we'll see maybe some icy pellets mixing in with some rain. Precipitation picks up. 5 degrees Friday, yes, but pre-dawn, and 15 to 30 millimeters of rain for the GTA, and overnight thunderstorms, especially in the south, with a rainfall warning here. We'll have a lot of snow melt as well today. Oh my, 8 degrees in downtown Toronto. Icy conditions likely all through the GTA, and the Golden Horseshoe with melting snow, rain, and some icy precipitation, snowstorm for northern Ontario. We've got some very active weather coming our way. Good to see you. Suzanne Leonard with the team. We'll get Rachel doing traffic for you in just a second. 3 degrees in Toronto right now and 2 in Oakville and Barrie. A pleasant afternoon. Got a little blustery when the cold front came through, and we're going to see a whole lot of wind with this upcoming storm system. If you're just joining us, melting snow, heavy rain, clear your downspouts if you can. There is going to be some localized flooding, no question. Let's just hope it stays as street flooding. We don't want any of your basements flooded. But I need you to know that if there's anything you need to do to protect your home, now is the time, because Thursday night we'll be seeing this moisture-laden low moves in. Afternoon into evening time, we could have some very icy glazed surfaces like untreated roads and sidewalks. For some, it'll be some freezing rain, and for others, it'll just be that rain freezing on those cold surfaces. It could be some freezing rain, yep, mixed in, and ice pellets too. But the main thing is rainfall, and the low is going to sweep through. Heaviest rain tapering off Friday morning, still showers through the morning drive period, and strong winds, especially behind the low. Gusty winds out of the southwest. Snowstorm for northern Ontario, rain for southern Ontario, 30 millimeters of rain, and there's a special weather statement topped up to a rainfall warning now for the south. Rachel, we'll see some storms. We may hear some rumbles of thunder, but I know you're pretty happy about the warmth today. What did you do for the first time? And a mild start to the day for most of southern Ontario. Great to see you. Suzanne Leonard with you on this Wednesday evening forecast. Temperatures drop below zero again, and there is a lot of active weather on the way. A rather intense storm is headed our way. Typical of late winter, early spring. It's going to bring snow and rain and possible thunderstorms. And we did get some mild weather today with 5, 6, 7 degrees being reached in Toronto and Peterborough and the St. Catharines region. Through the Golden Horseshoe, watch for a quiet start on Thursday. Could be a little bit icy on roads and untreated roads and sidewalks with some icy precipitation to start off with that warm front. Then we'll be changing over to rain overnight on Thursday. Winds picking up, unsettled enough that we may see some thunderstorms, especially stateside, but possibly here as well. The winds will start to gust out of the southwest, southeast to start, strong southwesterlies in particular behind the cold front. So Friday, a pre-dawn high of about 5 degrees. A snowstorm in the north, snow and blowing snow, 30 millimeters of rain possible for Toronto, more to the southwest with nocturnal thunderstorms that could wake you up. Local forecast coming up meets a Texas low. They form one really juicy area of stormy weather, and there's warm, moist air coming in from the U.S. South. We're going to see some thunderstorms, or hear some thunderstorms in southern Ontario tomorrow night. But for now, pretty calm. Got to 8 degrees in downtown Toronto, 7 in St. Catharines and Hamilton. I hope you, like Rachel and I, were able to get out and enjoy it. We both had an outdoor run today. Her first of this winter, I might add. Not my first. She's been running indoors. Yes, she's a winter. Yes, you are a winter wimp, Rachel. The winter wimp will be along in just a second. And this will be along in about 24 hours. This time tomorrow, we will be seeing rain and some ice pellets and freezing rain. Brief bit of snow to start in parts of the north. I don't think we're going to have much of that in the GTA. We may briefly, and then we'll go over to a bit of an icy bit of precipitation before it intensifies to heavy rain in the evening and overnight hours. And that is going to be a steady rainfall, increasing winds, initially out of the southeast, then out of the southwest behind our cold front. The heavy rain comes in the overnight hours. By the morning drive Friday, most of it will have already fallen. And it's a big snowstorm, big impact, 30, 40 centimeters, northern Ontario, and blowing snow. And then you'll notice the amounts diminish here as we get to the north end of Georgian Bay. That's where we'll see the rain extending up, and again icy, especially untreated roads and sidewalks tomorrow evening. Rainfall warnings, some thunder, and then much colder, Rachel, as we go towards the weekend. So wimps like yourself, and I say that with great affection, will be running indoors again.
Yeah, I'll be.
Harbor. You can walk out on the pier. You can go to the iconic lighthouse. That's where they stage one of the Terry Fox runs in September. And I can tell you, it's a neat place to do that run. It's a group start. Anyway, September is a long ways away. April's closer, and we had a real taste of it today. We got to 7 degrees in Hamilton and 8 in downtown Toronto. Current temperatures looking mild. Doesn't last, though, for long. Okay, so 6, 7, 8 degrees today. I was joined by my coworker, Gina, meteorologist Gina Ressler, earlier on, talking about how the temperatures actually surpassed our expectations today. It'll be a little above zero again tomorrow, but cloud cover thickens up and rain starts to fall. And for some around, say, ski country areas, it'll be a little bit of snow, followed by some freezing rain, ice pellets, and eventually over to rain. Down here on the 401 corridor and the Niagara region, we will also have a little bit of a mixture. I think it'll be more like icy precipitation falling, and even when it's rain, we may get quite a bit of a glaze build up with temperatures near zero, just above or just below, depending on where you are in the GTA. They could stay that way for about 6 hours, 3 to 6 hours Thursday evening. So icy conditions, the winds out of the south. The rain picks up, and it's going to be heavy rain Thursday overnight. The warm front brings us warmer temperatures. Our high Friday, 5 degrees Toronto, but that'll be pre-dawn. And the winds will continue to build, especially behind the cold front. And that cold front will cross us in the morning hours. By the Friday morning drive period, it'll still be raining, but the heaviest rain should be done by then. We have rainfall warnings, 30 millimeters of rain, Toronto east through Kingston, and certainly closer to 50 for parts of the Golden Horseshoe, down through Niagara and the southwest. And the southwest is going to get thunderstorms, and that'll help to top up the rain. And we could hear some thunder overnight tomorrow night. So snow melt, rain, it's going to be heavy at times, and then we are going to cool down into next week, but some stormy spring-like weather on the way, temperatures coming. Yeah, tough going. You remember the ice storm? Not an ice storm coming our way, but you remember how icy the conditions were then. You know, it's important to distinguish that it's not going to be a prolonged freezing rain period that would bring down tree limbs or power lines, but with cold air at the surface and cold, untreated roads or sidewalks, we are going to see, starting on Thursday evening and potentially for 2, 4, maybe even 6 hours, parts of the North GTA, some really slick conditions with either freezing rain or ice pellets falling, or just the rain, the wet conditions, the moisture freezing at the surface. Then we're going to see a changeover. Now this says Thursday afternoon, but it really gets going tomorrow evening. So expect a wet commute tomorrow. Most of the rain falls overnight tomorrow. That warm front lifts in. Thunderstorms in the U.S. South, snow changing to rain up around Killarney and Parry Sound. And I want to take you through Friday. There we go. Computer's cooperating with me now. Cold front slow to move in, but when it blasts through on Friday early day, the strong southwesterlies will pick up. So expect it to be really gusty Friday. It's a big snowstorm for northern Ontario. Big impact, 30 centimeters, a foot of snow, blowing snow, strong winds as well, and 30 millimeters of rain for the GTA. Might prove to be a little conservative. Parts of the Niagara region are likely to get 40 to 50. That's why we've got a rainfall warning. It includes Toronto. Fast flowing rivers and streams, heavy rain, and Rachel, of course, snow melt as well, compounding the problem. Friday morning drive, well, that's going to be wet as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin. Oh, it's been a beautiful day, hasn't it? Earlier, like 2 o'clock, we were sitting at 7 and 8 degrees, St. Catharines and Hamilton and Toronto. And then the temperatures quickly dropped as the cold front came through. What's next? Well, a whole lot of stormy weather. Let me set the scene for you. Active weather. We've been talking since last week about the mild trend for this week. And sure enough, we'll be above zero tomorrow and on Friday. However, that above zero trend, mild weather accompanied by some very wet weather. So how you dress yourself and your kids the next couple of days is going to vary pretty much from day to day. It was winter to start today, spring to finish. It'll feel a little spring-like tomorrow. There'll be less sunshine in the afternoon as the cloud cover thickens up. Then some rain, preceded by maybe a little freezing rain and some ice pellets as that warm front kicks in Thursday evening. After midnight, a steadier rain and a heavy rain at times, possibly some thunderstorms. And before I jump into Friday, I do want to mention again, icy conditions Thursday, late day, untreated sidewalks and roads in particular. And the further north you get out of the GTA, the better chance that it could last for 2, 4, maybe even 6 hours. So be prepared for that. Snow changing over to rain as far north as North Bay. If you were snowmobiling up north last weekend, as many were snowshoeing, yeah, it's going to be very wet. We'll get some compact snowpacks and we'll get some heavy wet stuff and then a freezing surface in the days to come. Overnight risk of thunderstorms, non-severe, rainfall warnings across the south. And again, that rain is going to pour into our thick snowpacks and then we'll get that crunchy, icy layer pre-dawn Friday, 5 degrees, and then dropping and staying near or below zero for the weekend. Ooh, what happens when a tall ship meets a plane landing at Billy Bishop Airport? Oh, it's a beautiful spot, isn't it? Aren't we lucky? We've got 3 airports in the GTA. We've got Buttonville, and we've got Pearson, of course, and then the Island Airport. Oh, there's Brampton Airport, too. I digress. Let's not talk about airports too much, Suzanne. Let's talk about the weather. 4 degrees. Oh, with some nice flying weather earlier today. Sunny, fairly stable. Then we got a bit windy. Not the greatest. I'm thinking of, the small planes, like a 4-seater, for example. You'd sure get buffeted about. I know what that feels like. And you are going to know what this feels like. Rainfall. It's been a while since we talked about that, hasn't it? Doesn't come Thursday. It'll be mostly Thursday overnight, but Friday is going to be wet and real windy. So it will feel colder than it is. You've probably seen the 5 degrees that we've been flashing up as a daytime high for Friday. It's a daytime high that we will reach before most of you are out the front door on Friday. Now, tomorrow morning doesn't start too badly. Today we got to 7, 8 degrees. In the Golden Horseshoe. Then we've got rain, and it's preceded by a little bit of icy precipitation, freezing rain or ice pellets, slick roads, slippery sidewalks, anything that's untreated. And then it's heavy rain overnight through Friday morning. Most of the rain will have fallen by the Friday morning drive. It will be accompanied by wind. It will be accompanied by thunder, especially likely in southwestern Ontario. 30 to 50 millimeters of rain. The heaviest amounts, Niagara South, but Toronto could see close to 30. And with the warmer temperatures and with heavier downpours possible with thunderstorms, we'll see melting snow, some localized flooding, and very windy late Friday going into Saturday. A mild day today, a real taste of spring, 8 degrees. In downtown Toronto. Oh, you heard it here. That was early this afternoon. Things have changed, and we have a rainfall warning for tonight, or rather tomorrow night into Friday. Tomorrow's still going to be fairly calm and fairly mild, but some very big changes, lots of active weather. So settle in for just a moment. I'll take you through it. We've got the live commute coming up in just a second with Rachel. Downspouts, you'd want them clear. There's going to be a lot of snow melt and a lot of rain pouring into our thick snowpacks to make them heavy. wherever they may lie, on the ground, on the roof. Warm front comes in, and Tuesday afternoon into evening time we'll have a little bit of freezing rain or ice pellets or just sleety precipitation before we change over to rain. Glaze on roads and untreated sidewalks as well. Heavy rain overnight Thursday. Friday late day will be clearing out, and most of the heavy rain will be done by the Friday morning period, and 30 millimeters for Toronto and possibly 40 to 50 for Niagara and the southwest. Risk of storms, severe storms south of the border. Expect to hear thunder and lightning, or to hear thunder rather, maybe to see lightning overnight Thursday into Friday. And when we say 5 degrees, that's a pre-dawn high. Cooler going into next week and very strong winds late Friday. Stormy weather. We've had plenty of it, and more active weather Wednesday into Thursday for the Atlantic provinces, with warnings, more heavy snow for Prince Edward Island and gusty conditions, and more snow for BC and a reprieve for Alberta. And coming in late Thursday, snow changing to heavy rain in Ontario. Active weather, yes, we've got snow, we've got some freezing rain or ice pellets, we've got some rain and some thunderstorms all on the way to southern Ontario. Good to see you. Let's get you up to date here. Thursday morning, fairly quiet, light winds out of the southeast. We'll see the cloud cover thickening up, some sunshine during the day, and the rain is going to pick up overnight. Before we get to the overnight period, well, it's not going to start right away as rain. We'll have a light bit of snow up towards ski country, and we'll have some snow changing over quickly to some freezing rain or ice pellets around the north end of the GTA. It could be a little bit more prolonged. City of Toronto, the QE through Mississauga and down to Hamilton. Icy road surfaces, especially untreated roads or sidewalks, just a glaze with cold surfaces, and then warmer air coming, and that's when we'll change over to rain. Evening, overnight, through early Friday morning, heavy rain at times, accompanied by some thunderstorms, believe it or not, and the winds will continue to build. First off, the rain, and this will be pouring into, of course, our thick snowpack, so they get heavy. And the snow will be melting because of the rain and because of the mild air. So we'll see some localized flooding, certainly some very deep puddles. Make sure catch basins and downspouts are open and able to flow freely as much as possible around your place. 30 to 50 millimeters of rain. Toronto south through Windsor, and Windsor is more likely than Toronto to get some thunder, but I wouldn't rule it out tomorrow night. You might get woken up by the sound of thunder. Rainfall warnings extend east through Kingston, north up towards the Barrie region. There's snow on the ground, over 30 centimeters, and judging by what I saw up north last weekend in the Huntsville area, more like 60 centimeters or more on the ground. Temperatures go up pre-dawn, 5 on Friday, strong winds throughout the day, cooler, calmer on the weekend. Coming up, we'll take. Right now, it's fairly calm, but coming up, some icy conditions are likely, plus some thick, slushy puddles. We've got snow melt on the way, and we've got some heavy rain on the way, along with thunderstorms. Imagine that. Late February, what a day today. 8 degrees in downtown Toronto, 7 if you're joining us from Hamilton and St. Catharines. Some of the unofficial highs from today, not quite record territory, but it sure felt like spring, didn't it? And the sun was shining. And we've had some clouds and some wind, and a cold front bring us a few brief showers and flurries in southern Ontario. This afternoon, this evening's fairly calm. You'll see these temperatures are only just below zero, and we're fairly calm and a little above zero tomorrow until the storm system rolls in. It's a Texas low with some energy from a prairie system. It's a snowstorm for northern Ontario. Thursday evening is when it really gets going for the south, where we are in the GTA and the Golden Horseshoe. It's quite a large storm system. It is going to bring some severe weather to the U.S. South, mostly rain for southern Ontario. There's a rainfall warning, and the amounts of rainfall will vary. We can certainly say that most of it will fall in the overnight tomorrow. Still be raining for many of you when we get to the morning drive period and breakfast time, but it should be lighter and then becoming increasingly spotty during the day on Friday. 30 millimeters for Toronto, heavier amounts Niagara, 40, maybe even locally 50 down towards the southwest. Thunderstorms, the risk overnight on Thursday. It'll be very windy once once that storm rolls through on Friday. Cooler for the weekend. And I just want to mention again, localized flooding is possible with the snow melt and with the heavy rain. And Rachel, it will also be a little icy and slick on untreated roads and sidewalks. That's later tomorrow evening to start things.
Yeah, absolutely, Suzanne.